Hi everybody, I'm Steve McDonald. I'm one of the editors at IDE. In focus this week, the bulls and bears ramp up their rhetoric. How to profit from all the negative information out there. Another stimulus bill, I hope not. Diamonds as an investment and the slap in the face award. Bulls and bears ramp up their rhetoric. Two articles this past week about the rough market appear to address the same issue, lack of confidence in the markets and the slow to no movement of stocks. They came at it from two very different perspectives. One, titled "When Bad is Good," basically said the Dow is getting smacked down again and it's the best news we could get. Why? Because there's so much pessimism, we have to have a rally. I love that. The author's thinking is that all rallies come when they are least expected, and usually when we have an overabundance of pessimism. I have to agree with him. That's what I've seen in my experience. Now, on the same day, an article titled "Bullish Sentiment Plummets to Crisis Low" really heaped on the negative ideas about jobs, real estate, the economy, consumer, you know the whole thing, and concluded with this line: the contrarian view of many professional traders is now that 4 out of 5 retail investors, that's you, have given up. It's time to buy, he says. It's a good sign that a short-term bottom is in place. Now, what are we going to do with this information? So what you should take away from all this negative information is the pros know that when retail buyers flee, it is the bottom of the market. And they are fleeing, yes, in a big, big way. Money is bleeding, and I mean arterial bleeding, from an underpriced stock market and pouring into an overpriced, by all standards, very overpriced bond market. Is it the bottom? Very likely. Am I recommending a huge move back to equities right now? Not yet. I believe in what I call the 60-20-60 rule. Give up the first 20%, take the next 60, and leave the last 20 for the uninformed who show up for the sell-off. In other words, look for the signs that the rally has started, and they are averages firming and moving up slightly, volume improving, top-line growth in key sectors, and prices moving off their 52-week lows, or at least moving up from them. The best course of action now, make a wish list. List all the companies that you ever wanted to own in your portfolio, and go ahead, pick the best for a change. Don't go bottom fishing, and don't go for junk. Track them daily. Look for movement that would indicate solid buying, and they are increasing volume, positive news stories, insider buying. Now that usually precedes a big move by a few months. And watch the 200-day moving average for a dip below it, then moving back towards the line. Buy after they start their move. Make sure it's happening before you get in. Obviously, there are more variables to watch, but these will help you get looking for signs of a good, healthy rally. Next up, another stimulus package. Well, as you might imagine, the Democrats are now 10% behind the Republicans in most polls, with just 62 days left before the November election. It ain't pretty, and it seems the Democrats in Congress are looking to the White House for answers. The possibility of another stimulus before the election seems remote, but it may be the only card they have left to play to try and get some kind of movement in this economy. Now, what's much more likely is a proposed stimulus that will never make it to the floor of either house, and then they can blame the Republicans for blocking it and being the party of no, or just say no. Anyway, diamonds as an investment. This is interesting. It seems the sale of really big diamonds are way up while the smaller diamonds are way down. The reason? Big diamonds hold their value and in fact increase in value in almost all types of markets, at least according to a person I had never heard of on Squawk Box this past Tuesday. So don't say you don't know what to do with your money. And by the way, I hear wives really like the idea a lot, at least until you have to sell them for a profit. Then it could be a problem. I'd be careful with this one. The slap in the face award this week goes to Vice President Joe Biden, Uncle Joe as they call him in my house. It seems Vice President Biden said this week that the Obama administration hit the accelerator towards spending $5 billion under the economic stimulus law to weatherize people's homes, creating thousands, quote, thousands of jobs, helping consumers save money, and putting the nation on track for energy independence. That's all we needed to do. What did they do with the other $809 billion? Anyway. So the stimulus weatherization program has experienced what has been described by some as spending delays. Others call it inefficiency and mismanagement. In fact, in Biden's home state of Delaware, the entire program has been suspended since May, and last month, federal auditors identified possible fraud. Can you imagine? In Alaska, now this is winterization we're talking about, and this is in Alaska, the program hasn't done one home yet. In Texas, auditors found the private contractors doing most of the work with the stimulus money did shoddy work on 60% of the houses they were hired to winterize. The Energy Department's own Inspector General complained in a report about little progress weatherizing homes and said the government's best efforts appeared not to have significantly increased the tempo of actual units weatherized. This is unbelievable. In Delaware, where Biden served as a U.S. Senator for 36 years, the benefits of this program are hard to find. Last month, federal officials released an audit that found lax oversight, conflicts of interest, and possible fraud. I hope these guys stay off the accelerator. Biden's eldest son, who's the state's attorney general, said, we didn't have a strong program beforehand, and when we ramped it up, it crumbled under stimulus. In a visit by the vice president to the home of a recipient of the program, the owner of the home said she was thrilled to have the vice president over, but when asked if she voted for him, there was a long pause. Did I vote for him, she said. I'd rather not say. I'd rather not say either. Anyway, for everybody here at IDE, thanks for being a part of us. I'll see you with the wrap-up on Friday.